This is a true story and not a creepypasta. I felt like sharing it with you since it's pretty interesting. A few years ago, my mother told me a pretty freaky story about when I was a kid. She often would tell me funny moments from when I was a baby or a young child, like when she opened a packet of processed cheese and the cheese flopped out onto my face, or something like that. But this one was different. So when I was little, I had a lot of imaginary friends. Most of them were from Disney movies. My mother would often come outside hearing me talking to somebody in the backyard, and she'd ask me who I was talking to. Most of the time I would reply with, "I'm talking to Goofy, Mom," or "I'm talking to Max or Mickey Mouse." Stuff like that. But one time my mom came out and asked me who I was talking to, and what I said scared the heck out of her. I told her I was talking to a tall man in a suit, with no face, and wearing a hat. Now I know what you're thinking. That kinda sounds like Slender Man, which I thought too. Since when I was told this story, I think Slender Man had just come out, and just started becoming popular. But obviously back then, I didn't know what Slender Man was, and I don't think it even existed for that matter. But it makes you think, right? What if there is something out there like Slender Man? However, thankfully that's not what this was. My mother later in that week again asked me who I was talking to while I was outside playing, and I replied the same thing. A tall man in a suit with no face wearing a hat. She was pretty freaked out and thinking there was a kidnapper or somebody else or something out there, so she took me inside. A few days later, when she went to pay the rent, she asked the owner if somebody had died in our apartment building, and the owner said yes. I don't remember the person's name, but there was an older man who died in our apartment. The owner later showed my mom a picture of him and his wife, and he was quite tall, wearing a suit and a fedora-like hat. I guess I was talking to his ghost the entire time.